So if you're wondering whether you should play this game or not, I think you should, like 100%. However, I don't think this game is actually going to be all too good even on release, because right now the mechanics are just really out of whack. The main thing I don't like about the mechanics right now is that running away from the enemy is just a bit too easy. It's really difficult for enemies to catch up to you. It takes a very long time. And if they can't fly or teleport, a lot of the times they just can't reach you at all. And if you really want more proof that these developers don't know how to balance their melee enemies, they just added a quick kick feature where you can just kick over and over again and juggle yourself in the air, which makes you impossible to hit. It's really broken, and I don't know why they added it. And what's even more frustrating is that sometimes it feels like the developers don't know how to balance the ranged enemies too. Their projectiles can be really overwhelming at times, they do a lot of damage, and they're just very oppressive. So a lot of the times if you're dying, it's usually because of those enemies. I think the problem lies in the fact that these projectiles can be really oppressive, but at the same time you can just hide behind walls and you don't really have to worry about it anymore. And I think ultimately it creates a lot of tension, because while the mechanics are encouraging you to move around the map a lot more, the enemies are actually encouraging you to stay behind walls and just play in a very turtley fashion. Another part of the game that I think is really bad right now is the Dynamite. It is insanely strong. It's really good for repositioning, it's really good for damage, and it's unlimited. It has a very short cooldown. And when you consider the fact that this game actually uses limited ammo at their guns, it really makes you question why they made them limited in the first place when you have an infinite amount of dynamite, an infinite amount of melees. It just kind of feels very conflicting. I think what really hampers the game is that there's this sort of dynamic where at the same time enemies are very difficult if you actually try to interact with them, but it's really easy to win if you don't interact with them. So it just feels really boring, and I think overall like a bit too easy. Now, to me, the simplest way to kind of fix the game a little bit is to just hamper movement. Don't allow the player to just move all around the enemies, and to sort of test this, I did a bit of a challenge run. So in this sort of like challenge run, I only use the revolver, I only get one jump, I can't dash, and I can't use my dynamite. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, this wasn't super difficult either. It took me about 3 tries to beat it without dying at all. But it definitely felt like the game was a much slower pace where I had to be a lot more focused, especially because I couldn't just dodge the homing orbs by dashing. I had to be a lot more aware of my surroundings. And I don't want to say that it was an inherently better experience than Overheat, because I think it's just a very different experience, but it was more enjoyable to me personally. Now, I'm going to preface this little section here by just saying that I have worked with this developer team before. I have not worked on Overheat specifically. I did work on a scrapped project called Overheat Zombies, but not the same as Overheat. So I was basically their like idea guy for about a year or so. Keep in mind that like obviously other people had ideas. It's just that my only job was to give it ideas, because I didn't do scripting or VFX or any of that. And I'm not saying this to like establish my expertise. I actually got kicked off the team, so if anything, it shows that I don't have the expertise to talk about this, but I'm just talking about it because it's a bias and I feel like I should point it out. So like with that all out of the way, I just want to point out how good this game looks and feels, okay? This is really high quality stuff. But the reason I'm worried is because their game design isn't really at the level of everything else. So it really worries me, because this does not look good whatsoever. And I understand that the game's not fully released yet, so obviously there's stuff that needs to be polished, but I'm more so saying that the game's foundation just isn't very good. If you don't have a lot of experience in like the movement shooter genre, I'm just going to tell you right now, this gameplay is extremely derivative, even on Roblox. If Overheat is your first movement shooter and you want to find something that's fucking better, I got some here for you. We got Combat Initiation, got Project Remix, Unorthodox Accounting, Blood Rush, and Punfest. I think all of those are pretty good. That goes from most to least popular. So there's definitely a lot more out there. You just gotta look for them, man. You just gotta look for them. I think Overheat is one of them, but it's not that good. But what really bothers me about Overheat is that outside of like the tweaks for like maybe some of the AI and maybe new weapons and bosses and stuff, is that I don't know if the game is gonna really get better fundamentally. I have no reason to believe that, right? There's no like outstanding mechanic that everybody loves that they can focus in on. It's just a whole sea of mediocre mechanics that they probably took from other games that I just don't find super compelling. And by the way, when I say that, like, I don't mean to say that like you're not allowed to. I'm pretty sure the weapon concepts are unique as well. I'm just saying that the gameplay is definitely inspired from a lot of other movement shooters. But like, to be honest, I think that's about it for my first impressions on this game. I mean, I played for like a week or two, so I don't know if first impressions is the right term here. I think that the game is pretty solid. You should totally give it a try. I just don't know if it's gonna actually be a good game. I'm really scared right now for it because the game just looks so good, and I think the game feels pretty good too. It's just like, it's not very compelling, and it needs to be more compelling, because otherwise it's just gonna, I don't know. I think the kids who've never played a moving shooter before will really enjoy it, and I kind of frame that as a bad thing, but it's really not. I understand. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think it's something that I would enjoy that much. So yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm pretty quiet today because it's like 3 a.m. So I don't know. Also, those TSB custom movesets never coming out. I'm just gonna put that out there. The second one broke, and I'm not making a third one. Okay, I'm not fucking making another one. It's so janky right now. You have no idea. Okay, it's bad. It's fucking bad. That's it. Goodbye.